All right, as we follow the situation in the Middle East, no analysis would be complete without the input of Larry Kudlow, who you know is the host of CNBC's Primetime Kudlow Report, co-host of The Call, and of course right here at 6:30 WMAL. You can hear Larry on the Larry Kudlow Show every Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Larry, good morning.
Good morning.
So far, we've blamed George Bush, Barack Obama, Bibi Netanyahu, the Muslim Brotherhood, and now you weigh in with Ben Bernanke, if I'm reading your most recent column correctly. What's his role in certainly the economic decline and possibly crisis in Egypt and countries?
Food inflation, and particularly wheat inflation. And it's priced in dollars, these food commodities, and the Fed has overproduced dollars now for a couple years. And yeah, I think Bernanke's had a hand in this because we've never seen wheat and corn prices. I mean, literally, it's too expensive for Egyptians to buy bread.
So because he is quantitatively easing the dollar, he's overproducing the dollar, which means Egypt means more dollars, needs to spend more dollars to buy wheat.
Well, it isn't just Egypt. It's a global phenomenon. I mean, it affects Tunisia and Algeria, and you see it in Yemen also. You see it in Jordan. You see it in China. You see it in some of the Asian tigers in Indonesia. We are seeing a most incredible increase in food price commodities. The overall index, the commodity index, is up about 40% in the last 52 weeks. That itself is incredible. But wheat is up 114%, and corn is up 88%. These are incredible numbers. When you see a worldwide commodity boom like this, you have to look for a worldwide theme, and that is the overproduction of the worldwide reserve currency, which is the dollar.
How come we're not feeling it here as much as they are over there?
Well, that's an interesting point, and it's only a matter of time before we import this inflation virus that we ourselves have started. And, you know, money has to find outlets, so it's found outlets in these commodity prices, and we're going to see it here. You know, by the way, we're going to see it in manufacturing prices as well as food prices. I noticed yesterday's Chicago manufacturing report. The prices paid component was 80-something on the index. That's up 25% from a year ago. And this is becoming a big issue in the financial world, but I'm just saying it plays a political role. I mean, it's like the 19th century, the 18th century French Revolution. They couldn't buy bread. You're seeing the same thing, and I think the media has covered this very badly, although a whole bunch of experts been on our show have noted that the food price business has really played a major role, and it affects poor people the most. So I'm not blaming Bernanke for the political autocracy, but I am blaming him for the major irritant on food prices, and I also want to blame ethanol. I think the ethanol policies, which are still in place, have caused people not to plant wheat, but instead to use to plant corn and use about 40% of the corn crop in the U.S. for ethanol purposes.
And you make a point in your article that that Egypt is the world's largest wheat importer, so they're
correct.
Kind of at the front of the line when it comes to the deprivation. But you know, it's interesting because you're probably right. In the long run, this will come back to hurt us. But in the short run, as a former old farm state legislator, you know, the low dollar means you sell more grain, which means farmers do better in the short run. So that may be why there's not the hue and cry in this country, because the rural sector, the rural economy is saying, hey, bucks up.
Well, yeah, I know. I'll just say this, that when these food prices begin to filter into the consumer price index at the